Hello, Dawn. Hi, Diane. Can you guys hear me okay? Please let me know if you will be sewing along with me today. Loud and clear? Okay, I'm going to be playing with some settings as we do this to try to fix the sound situation we were having. It's clicking some other buttons because as I'm turning off webcams, it switches speakers around. So I'm going to try. Okay, I know Diane has done hers already. Dawn isn't doing this. Kim, are you sewing with us today? Hi, Barbara. Welcome. Hi, Rhonda. Okay, hi, Alba. Oh, yay, Alba's going to be sewing too. Excellent. Oopsies. Let me mark down who's sewing. So Alba's sewing. Barbara, are you sewing along with us today? Rhonda. Barbara. Yay, I'm so excited. And Kim is going to be sewing. Excellent. Not sure how far we'll get. We're going to just power through and see where we get. Hi, Annie. Are you sewing along with us today? Barbara is. Excellent. So you guys don't mind being my guinea pigs as we work on sound? I have to find a way for my laptop to have more of something called USB bandwidth, and I just don't know how to do it. Oh, goodness. Sit down for a moment. Okay, but you're going to be making one, Rhonda. Awesome. Oh, awesome. Yay, lots of people sewing with me today. Excellent, excellent. Hey, Karen. I was just on with my admins as I realized that I had no pink to match my salmon color vinyl. So we were between a beige and a rose gold, and Nicole says that she has used a rose gold thread on this same vinyl, so we're going with that. Karen, you're sewing along with us for part of things today, right? Okay, so far, let me know if I'm missing anybody. Sewing along with me today, I have Annie, Barbara, Elba, Karen, and Kim sewing along so far. This bag is definitely a fabric eater. Hey, it takes a lot of vinyl. It surely does, but it's definitely worth it. Barbara, it's a here goes nothing kind of day. Those are my favorite kind of days. So today what we're going to do is we are going to prep our connectors. Like for our front and our back. We're going to start prepping the stuff for our front, back, and bottom main panels. Next week we will work on sides and putting hopefully the exteriors together if we don't get the front and back panels done, because they are the ones that are the most involved to get done with all of the pockets and all. So lining is super easy. So that won't probably be till close to the last class. So this class and next class we will be working on the exteriors and putting them together. And then last class we'll be finishing up the lining and putting it all together. Oh, you like the black one? Excellent. I should bring that over here in case I need it for a show. Oh. This one here. Again, this one I made on my Elna. I made this on my domestic machine. Maybe a month into bag making. Like, this was one of my first bags. I still use it. I took it on my anniversary getaway this weekend, so. Oh, awesome, Barbara. When's your next cruise? Yes, this is the perfect travel bag. Again, I took mine to Vancouver Island this weekend and used it as kind of my carrying my iPad and all that kind of thing in the car. It's a great carry-on bag as well. So we'll give it a couple more minutes just to see if anybody pops on, and then we will get going. My weekend was amazing. The weather in Euclid was terrible. It was windy and stormy, but our room, oh my gosh, we stayed at the Black Rock Resort. We splurged a little. It's a little more expensive of a place than we usually stay. We got a partial ocean view room. We were on the 3rd floor, and I swear it was pretty much on the deck. You could see the partial ocean view meant that we had a view of the rocks and the waves crashing up on the rock, and then if you look to the right, you could see the full ocean. So I liked it even more than just a full ocean view, because with the storms and everything, we did a lot of storm watching from our deck, and it was just amazing. We didn't get to go whale watching because it was too rocky, so it was just too stormy, and I didn't want to go in the ocean. So we decided we were going to go whale watching again in August when we know the weather will be good. So yeah, no, it was a great weekend. It was a really nice way to celebrate our 25th for sure. Oh, Diane, oh, you're headed home tomorrow, Diane? Excellent. And Kim is making an extra one. Awesome. Rhonda, you had all the hardware? Excellent. Yeah, the waves, it was really nice. We did see some wildlife, sea lions. We went in the afternoon, kind of on Saturday and Sunday, we had where the rain stopped and the wind stopped, and it got really, really nice. So the first afternoon, we went down to this dock that you can drive right up on, and there was a big fishing boat there, and there was these huge sea lions, and they were just waiting to be fed, I guess. So we watched them for a little bit, and then on Sunday, when the weather let out, we went and kind of just went down on the beach down in front of the resort and kind of beach combed a little and just checked things out and that kind of thing. So, oh, but home, Diane, home to your Titan. You're going to leave your Juki behind, and then you'll be with your Titan. But yes, all right. Let me just call out everybody I have here. Let me know if I am forgetting anybody. I have Annie, who's sewing along with us. Barbara is sewing along today. Dawn and Diane are watching. Elba is sewing along. Karen and Kim are sewing along. And Rhonda is watching today. Is there anybody I'm missing that I didn't call out? So I am finishing up the Pauling tutorial tomorrow. I didn't get too far today. I had a doctor's appointment and all that. He still hasn't let me go back to full sewing, like full duties with my arms. It's driving me crazy. But so I rested it up today so I can finish up that tutorial tomorrow. So that'll be done for everybody on Thursday. So for the Thursday class, which will be good. But yeah, otherwise today, I didn't do much. Recovered from my holiday, pretty much. Clean bill of health from the doctor, except for the tendonitis in my elbow, so that's good. My blood work was good, which is good. All right, are we ready to get started? Okay, so again, I'm going to be kind of playing with the cameras and the speakers. When I switch to the machine view, if you guys can let me know if it's better or worse, that would be great. You won't be here on Thursday? Okay, Diane, I guess I'm all by myself then, because you've already made the Pauling. You're my backup teacher. But that's okay, we will miss you. All right, let me just flip this down. Okay. So I got to make sure my camera is good here. Class table. Okay, how does the table look? Is it bright enough? It's kind of a gloomy day here today, so yeah. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start easy. I just want to find my pattern piece here. 1 second. I forgot to pull it out. I pulled out the wrong one. We'll need our bottom pattern piece for marking our purse feet. Did everybody fuse their heavy stabilizer on to the bottom of their bottom panel outside of the seam allowances? That was the only homework I think there really was. So the first thing I'm going to do while I'm here is I'm going to, before we put the purse feet on, I'm going to just find my top and bottom centers and do little snips. This will be helpful when we go to assemble the bag. You can just do marks if you want, but snips I like because they don't wash away. So on the long sides, as well as we want to do it on the short side. So I just fold them in half, mark my centers. Just like so. Okay. Now we are going to put 6 purse feet into this baby. So I'm going to take my pen. And I've already gone and I've poked little holes in my purse feet placement, and that's so I can lay this down and I can just go ahead and I can just draw in those holes. Now for the middle purse feet, I have them already cut out here as well, where I can just mark it, flip this over, mark it as well. You can also use the measurements on this pattern piece. So it says to go down 1.5 and in 1.5. But I like to just use, I mean, anytime I don't have to measure something, I like to just use this like so. You can see I've got all my marks. And then we can go ahead and install those purse feet as per your manufacturer's instructions. I'm just using the regular prong purse feet from Emmeline Bags. Come on out. My washers don't want to come out. I know I'm using my rotary cutter, but I haven't changed the blade, so I can cut the plastic and not worry about it. And then I like to use my X-Acto knife, and I just cut little slits, just little teeny tiny ones, right at those dots. Get in there. And then stick your purse feet into those little things. Stop me if there's any questions. I really wanted to use antique brass for this. I think it would have looked so much better, but my client had her heart set on rainbow, so it's okay. I tried so hard to talk her out of the rainbow, but it's her bag, so we'll go with it. Rainbow's gonna look okay. That's the one thing about making customs is sometimes the hardware choices aren't necessarily what your style are. I always try to convince my clients for a better choice, but I mean, this isn't terrible, but I think antique brass would have been amazing. Okay, so once you have them in this side, what I like to do is I just kind of turn these by like a quarter turn. I don't know if it does anything. In my head, it does, so I do it. I think it just kind of secures it into that deckable heavy good. And I used to separate the prongs and then put them into each little hole, but I don't anymore. I just put the prongs down into one of the little holes of the washer. And then I open them out and press them down. Oh, these are hard to find? Really? I just got this off of Amazon. It's a Fiskars. It's a Fiskars knife. I guess it's not an X-Acto knife. It's a Fiskars. And I buy the blades for super cheap on Amazon as well. I think that's where I got that one. I've had that one since I started bag making. So I could have gotten it at Michael's for all I know. But it's a Fiskars one. Oh, come on. Come apart. Sometimes I find the rainbow purse feet prongs, the finish on them, when they're done, glues them together. Coco says good morning or good afternoon, everybody. Dave and both the boys are home today, so they shouldn't be too noisy. Okay, and then I flip this over and I just like to push down on my purse feet a little like this. Karen, you got the same one at Walmart? There you go. You can buy the Fiskar ones at Walmart. And then over top of the prongs, again, you don't have to do this. I like to do it. I like to put some Gorilla Tape or duct tape over the prongs because I think it helps hold them in place to make sure they're not going to fall out. Because you just never know. And I just kind of do it the width of the deckable heavy. Where did my little scissors go? There they are. Oh no, Rhonda. Seems like we have such a supply shortage on everything since COVID and all. Hopefully things will go back to normal eventually. All right. Push those nice and flat. And I just like to, again, my head this does something. I don't know if it does. It just helps flatten that tape nicely. So that is the bottom panel almost done. For homework, you're going to go ahead and you are going to baste your foam onto this piece or fuse or whatever it is, however you put your foam on. I will be basting my foam on my bottom piece. Okay, so homework, I should write it down so I remember. I'm trying to remember to put it on the page so we remember. So bottom foam. All right. Any questions about that? So that is done. Everybody let me know when your purse feet are done and then we will move on. We'll get the next sections ready. Thank you, Dawn. You found it on Amazon there? Excellent. Awesomeness. Thank you. Are you not doing purse feet, Kim? Okay, so give everybody about 4 minutes or so to finish up the purse feet, and then we will move on to the connectors. Dawn's super fast. Karen, you're always modifying your size. I just love your bravery. I've never seen a smaller Trailblazer. I look forward to seeing yours. So has everybody nominated which bags they want to see for June? I know that on the polls on the Facebook page it says May. For some reason it's not letting me edit that to fix it, so they are meant for June. Okay, Annie's done. It'll be super cute, Karen. Okay, 2 more minutes. Annie has such great sojo right now. Man, oh man, you've been making a lot. While we are doing these, well, actually I'll wait until everybody's done. I have a question. Actually, no. I think I'll just stick with the pattern. One more minute. Oops. So next we're going to making Elba's ready. Annie, you've been doing awesome. I'm proud of you. So now we're going to prepare all the connectors except for the side connectors. We will do the side connectors when we do the side panels, which if we get to it today, great. I don't think we will. So what we're going to need, ready to go, not just yet, is you're going to need 4 rectangular rings because we're going to do the drop down handles, 2 D-rings, and the O-ring. Now you want to make sure that your O-ring is big enough, because remember we're doing it in the way that, hi Anna, how are you? That your swivel clasp is going to go through your O-ring. Now my O-ring is a 1.5 inch O-ring, and this O-ring is what is going to enable us to not have to do separate backpack straps and save on all of that hardware. So our backpack strap is going to work as our backpack strap and our crossbody strap. So this O-ring is the magic that makes that happen, so we don't have to make separate everything, okay? The Selah and the Reina seem to be neck and neck. I can tell you I'm doing the Selah not this weekend, but next weekend. The Selah tutorial I will have on the channel, so it will be out before June because I already had promised the designer I'd be making that one. So I won't be we can vote for it for class still, but I won't be saving that tutorial for classes. It will be released sooner, but yeah, I'm really happy that Sewing Arts is allowing me to do her tutorials. All right, so what we want to do is we want to pull out our connectors. We have our 4 for our rectangular rings, 2 for our D-rings, and 1 for our O-ring. So we're going to do some chain sewing here. So we already marked when we cut out our bags our center line. I'm going to use double-sided tape. Dexter says hi now. And I'm using my 1/2 inch tape to go across here. Do this however you like. You can use clips instead of tape if you like. Dexter's excited for his food because Dave is feeding him right now. So you're going to pull that off, and you are going to fold the long edges into that center line and stick it to the tape. If you aren't using tape, you can definitely use clips instead, like so, to hold it in place. And you want to do that for all of these connectors, not your side connectors. Those we will do a different day. They should measure a 1 inch. So go ahead and do that for all of them. I'm excited to make the first Selah. Again, I was going to release it this weekend, but I'm just, with the doctor not granting me full day's work, it's just, I'm so far behind, it's not even funny. And I still have like 6 client bags to get done before the end of the month. I'm just, I might have to call my mom to help me, I think. But that's okay. Okay, so go ahead and get all of those ready, and we will take them all to the machine, and I'll show you how I chain stitch them. I do need to take it slow, but I'm very, very deadline orientated, and I know I'm my own boss, but I made myself these deadlines, and it's really making me mad that I'm not making them. Because Selah was actually supposed to go out last weekend. That's okay. The designer is being very, very understanding, so... It said with me not being able to sew full days right now, my main focus is the classes. The classes and the my client orders. Barbara, we're working on 7 of them. So you have 4 of your main connectors, your 2 D-rings, and then the O-ring connector. So these are the pieces that measure, I don't know if mine measured 2 by 4 inches. I can't remember what the pattern said to cut them out as. I sometimes cut mine bigger. You will find the side connectors are smaller. So these are the ones we're not working on. Oh no, they're the same size. So yeah, just grab 7 of them out. Oh sure, Diane, but you live like halfway across the country. But I would love it. I'll get through it. I will. My arms don't hurt that much anymore. It's good. So they're getting better. Oh, that would have been awesome, Dawn. I would love all the help. I need all the help I can get some days. Okay, so give everybody another minute or 2 to get these all prepped for sewing, and then we will switch over to the machine. It would be so much fun if we could all get together to sew. Just to work on whatever we're working on. I mean, I have 2 industrial machines here. My Juki 2010Q is going on a little bit of a trip. My brother needs it to do some upholstery on his sailboat. So I am sort of giving it to him unless there ever comes a time he doesn't want it. Then he has to give it back. So, but I never ever use it, my 2010Q. So he can put it to use. I know I have. My doctor is really, really good. It's okay. Yeah. I touched base again on Friday with him, so pick you. Okay, Barbara, let's go. Okay, I've got one more. No, we wouldn't get much sewing done. We'd all be visiting. We definitely would. It would be fun, though. Okay, now while I'm waiting, I'm going to switch things over, and you guys are going to let me know how my microphone sound is when I do this, okay? So 1 second, and I got to check the tension on my machine and everything. So I'm going to be doing some finagling here. Let me just, bear with me. Come on. There we go. Okay, I am sitting at my machine. Did I go quiet or did this volume stay good? Let me know. Oh, awesome, Ken. You started an EPP. I'm not allowed to do that right now, but I really want to. I'm just checking my tension right now because I haven't done that yet. She is good. Actually, I should check to make sure it's good. It went a little quieter, hey? Interesting. Because now it should be coming from this webcam. Is it better than what it did before or the same? Is it worth me pressing all the buttons, or is it the same? I went quieter? Okay. Let me try something. How about now? Is that better? Is the sound better now? I switched to a different microphone. Or is it the same? Same? So it really doesn't matter if I press all the buttons. I will just talk louder when I'm at the sewing machine, okay? I have no idea what it's doing at all. Kim, you'll definitely be able to do EPP there. Okay, but is the sound okay? You guys can hear me okay? I sound completely fine? Okay. All right, so I'm not going to press all the buttons. We're just going to go with it. So make sure, especially, actually, do you know what? Thank you, Nicole. She's not on here right now. This thread does look very good with this. So make sure, especially if you're on an industrial, that you check to make sure your tension is good, because I know mine gets thrown off all the time. It sounds good? Okay, good. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to sew 1/8 of an inch top stitch down each of these. But what I'm going to do is I am going to go down one side of them all and chain stitch them. It's just a way of making it so you don't have to keep cutting your thread. Yeah, we're just going to chain stitch them, and it just helps speed up the process when you have so many connectors to do. You don't have to back stitch at the beginning and the end of them if you don't want to, because we're going to be sewing them in place. So there's one. And I'm going to just keep on going with 1/8 of an inch down them all, down the right side, making one big long train. Again, make sure that your stitching looks good, because it will be visible. I'm actually just going to loosen it just a smidgen, I think. Kind of like quilting when you're chain stitching your quilting pieces. Quilter style, exactly, Barbara. Let's make all of our skills come on. Now when I get to my very last one, I'm not going to break my thread. I'm just going to go 1/8 of an inch away from that short end and pivot across, just because I don't want to cut it. I mean, you totally can if you want to. And now we can spin these all around, and we can go ahead and go down the other sides. And it's just so much faster than having to take that break in between to cut your thread, or, I mean, we're going to still cut it apart, but it'll go super fast. Hookless is high. There we go. And then you can go ahead and cut those all apart. Okay, how's my sound? Are we still good? Sound still good? So I'm just going to take my rotary cutter and cut those threads like so. Make them all individual pieces. And Barbara, this class is all about us learning from each other. If you ever have a tip or trick that you can teach me, please do. I mean, we teach each other stuff every day. It's awesome. That's what I love about this group. So Okay, so give everybody a couple minutes to get there, and then we will prep these connectors, and then we will move on to some, well, getting these put into place pretty much. I'll give everybody till about 35 after. It's funny, I didn't grab a fresh water. I think I'm drinking my water from last week. Isn't that terrible? Just mark down. Did anybody else pop in there? I saw Anna popped in. Oh no, is it gone now, the high-pitched sound? Darn it. Is the sound gone now? I don't, no. Nothing on battery. But it's gone now, right? We're okay? I have no idea where these mystery sounds come from. It's so bizarre. It must be in the translation from my computer to maybe the upload to YouTube. I don't know. But as long as it's not going constant. I don't have my regular mic on. We're just using the webcam mics. Okay, good. Not like the one time where Coco put it off and it wouldn't stop. Is a brief beep to make sure we are all awake. How about that? Did you hear it earlier today, Kim, on another live maybe? Then we would know if it was a YouTube thing, if that's what happened. Again, I didn't hear it over here, but again, I don't hear what you're hearing. Okay, so now we are going to prep these so we can put them away. Now you could do these in two ways. You can either take your ring, put it over, and you can hold this with a clip on the bottom for now. I like to make it so they're staying in place on the wrong side. I'm going to take some double-sided tape and put them on the bottom short side of each of these. You watching YouTube at work again, Kim? I love it. Okay. Okay. And take the tape off. And for each of the connectors, including the O-ring, just go ahead and bring those short ends together and stick them together for all those connectors. So the only connectors we're not doing are the side connectors because they are done slightly different. We will do that later on. Well, a different class. But we just want to get these all prepped because we may get to attaching these today. Actually, we will get to attaching these today. So give everybody about 5 minutes or so to get these all done. How's everybody doing? Is the pace okay? Are we keeping up okay? Am I going too fast, too slow, just right? Oh, awesome, Kim. Okay, Dawn, I think you're biased. All right. And once you have all those, you can go ahead and just put them into your little bin if you have it of hardware. Actually, ignore me. We need these right away. Let me know when you're done, and then we will move to attaching these. Well, I read up on the instructions again because it's been a while. Okay. I'm going to need this is one bag where it slow me down if I am going too fast because I've made this so many times. I just go in autopilot, so I always have to remember to check the measurements because a lot of the time I'm just eyeballing it, and I shouldn't be doing that in the class, that's for sure. Give it 2 more minutes. Just check to make sure nobody's trying to get a hold of me. Okay, Annie's done. So again, this part is slightly different than the pattern because we are doing the fold down handles. This one I did as per the pattern in the very beginning, and I just don't like it when your handles all are like floppy and everything, but you can definitely do it this way. Just follow the pattern, what you need to do if you're attaching your handles. But we are going, the way I'm doing it is going to be so that they flop down and the handles flop down and out of the way, and we can attach the handles later. So okay, so let's move on. Well, how are you doing, Barbara and Elba? I don't want to get too far ahead. Who else is doing this with me? Annie's done. Kim is done. Barbara, Elba, and Karen, let me know how you're doing. I don't want to get too far ahead. Oh no, Rhonda, that's what happened with this pink, but then Nicole recommended I use my rose gold color, and it actually really blends in. What I say is if you have something that is slightly lighter than your blue, I would go with that. Oh no, Barbara. Okay, so Elba and Barbara, are you good? How about you, Karen? It's a lot of hardware, that's for sure. I have tons of blue here. Rhonda, you should come over and borrow some thread. Barbara, you're funny. This piece line here, this is the exterior top panel, so we're going to have to pull out both of those. Okay, so we got our exterior top panels. And what we want to do is we want to find the top and bottom centers. So again, when we drew this out, you should have that center marked on the back, but I like to do mine with little snips because it's easier to see. Again, you can mark it with a erasable marking pen as well. So just do your top and bottom snips within the seam allowances, like barely 1/8 of an inch on both of these. So this is all prep work. We will be putting all the pieces together separately and then making magic happen. Yeah, Ron, I think if you just go with something a little bit lighter, that will blend in the most. I think anyways, but Darker is usually a little bit too noticeable. Okay, so we are going to start with one first. So I have my center snip there, and I'm going to use my 4-inch ruler. You don't have to have a 4-inch ruler. I'll also use my grid lines here. So we want to make sure that these, we're going to take 2 rectangular rings. Let me double check that I'm doing this right. Okay. And we are going to line it up 2 inches from that center. So I'm just going to lie it down like so and use some clips, not that one, to hold it in place. You want to make sure it's going to stay in place. You can definitely go ahead and use a little bit of double-sided tape here if you want as well. So that's 2 inches to the left. I'm going to do 2 inches to the right. And I'm also going to take my leather pen just in case these shift while I'm basting them on, and I'm just going to put a little line to the right of them with my erasable pen here. So if they get out of whack, I know that's where the sides are for each. So that's 2 inches from that center line. And then I'm also going to take my O-ring. So what we're working on here is this back piece. This one has a D-ring, but we're doing it slightly different. So, okay. So this one, I want to draw about a 1/2 inch up from the bottom. Just because this is going to be a backpack strap, there's going to be a lot more hanging off the back. So I just want to have a little bit laying over. And we are going to place this one nice and centered at that center mark, lining up that 1/2 inch mark. So this one is going to sit just slightly lower than these ones, and that is what we want. Clip that into place. I'm actually going to just take my pen and mark where this is sitting in case it shifts. Just like that. Okay, so we can set that aside. And now we're going to do the other one, but we only need to put the 2 rectangular rings on the exact same way. So this one is for our front. So I'm just going to do 2 inches from either side. That's right, Kim, you put it together in pieces and it goes wonderfully. It's just such an amazing pattern. Great for beginners, great for experienced bag makers. It's just a great pattern. I love it. Again, I've been making it from the beginning. It's my top selling bag even to date. So I've got 2 on order, including this one that we are making. This is for my client, Sheena. So this is all of her hardware choices, her vinyl choices. This is a custom bag strictly for her. And this bag started at $225, but she got the cork add-on, which added an extra $60 because cork is friggin' expensive. No, it was an extra $45 because half a yard was $40. So I incorporated the shipping in there for her as well. So yeah. Okay, so these D-ring ones we can set aside for now until later. And then what we want to do is just take these to the machine and baste them on, like with 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. You don't need very much. Go ahead and baste those in place, and then we can move on to the next step. So let me just switch us over. Oh, did my sound go away? Is it back now? Oh my gosh. Okay. Is my sound back now? Okay. That was my fault. It's because I had it set up at that old setting, so. I gotta love it. All I was saying was basting. Basting with an 1/8 inch seam allowance. Look at this sound thing. I'm actually going to change it to this. Okay, I'm putting it back to default. How's my sound? Is it good? Okay. Darn you, sound. Okay, so quick question for everybody making this. Will you be using rivets? The reason I ask is I'm not going to sew these down. I'm actually going to be riveting these down. But if you aren't using rivets, you are going to want to go ahead and sew up and over and across for all of these. I mean, I will be putting my rivet in there. But if you guys want me to do stitching instead, we could do that. We could do stitches. We can do stitching on here and rivets, or just rivets. What would you guys like to do? You're going to do it the way I'm doing it. So what I mean is, see how these are all floppy? Once I get these attached to foam, I am going to use rivets to stabilize these in place rather than sewing them in place. So if you aren't using rivets, you will want to stitch another box or go across here or something to hold it in place. Diane did both. I'm not going to do the rivets right now. I wouldn't even do the stitching until we have it attached to foam, so you have that extra whatever to hold it in place. You could do rivets, you could do both. Diane did both. It's up to you. I'm not going to be doing both. I'm just going to be doing rivets later on. I just wanted to let you guys know that's what I was doing. And I'm just going to make sure that my 4 match up, and they do. So this is the tops of our front and our back panels. Once they're done, so we can go ahead and set those aside for now. So give everybody about 4 minutes or so to finish that up. Let me know when you're done, and then we will move on. So I'll put these over here. Any questions so far, or easy peasy? How many do I use? I kind of wing it. Usually I'll use 2, but it depends how much space is there. 1 to 2. I honestly don't remember, but I will be using lots. So, but we're not riveting yet. It'll be once we have our panels all together. We'll get to that spot. That probably next class. Okay. I love rivets. I use a ton of rivets, so. But yeah, we won't be doing the rivets today. We will get to that. Rivet press is very satisfying. Okay, so everybody let me know when you're ready. So I'm getting lots of happy anniversary. Mine and Dave's actual anniversary today, so my phone is just blowing up with family and friends and my wedding party and everything wishing us a happy anniversary. So I'm having a hard time ignoring my phone because it's people I haven't seen in a long time. It's so nice. Barbara's ready. Kim is ready. Thank you, Dawn. Annie and Elba, how are you making out? Like I said, and the way I show these, this is just the way I like to do them. Definitely put your own flair in it, or your own whatever, your own stitching. Make it your own. So, yeah. Okay, so now we're going to work on this front flap. So you're going to want your pattern piece. You're going to need that for our placement. Your exterior piece and your lining piece. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to take our lining piece and the wrong side. I'm going to use my little trick that you guys taught me. Okay, this is the wrong side. I love it. You're going to need wine after this? You've got this. You're fine. So we're going to lay our pattern piece down like so over top of it. Looks like mine is, oh, it's because my pattern piece is kind of cut funny. And again, I have put little holes in my pattern piece where my magnetic snaps are going to go. And Barbara, as you're working on this over the next week, you can always reach out to me as well if you need help. Okay, I'm going to take my pen, and this is on the wrong side, and I'm just going to mark where my magnetic snaps are in those little holes. And this is where we want to install the male side. So my rule of thumb for magnetic snaps is the part that moves, I always put the male side on. So that's the side that has the little itty bitty nubbin on it. So we're working with the boy sides. Oh, come on. These are strong. So these little ones with the little nubbins in the middle. Okay, and I can put these away. I usually use the larger magnetic snaps, but I don't have any left, so I'm using the smaller ones, and that'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my washer. Again, this is my wrong side of my fabric. Putting my washer right where I did that little dot, so the dot of the washer, and then I'm going to mark where the little slits are on both sides. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my little knife. You can use a seam ripper as well. And I'm just going to cut into those slits, not too far. Just the same as those slits. Okay, now you want to make sure that you're putting these through on the right side. So then put your magnetic snap in like that. So this is the side we marked. This is the side we're putting it in. Okay, and then I like to, I'm just grabbing my scraps. I don't waste any Deckerville Heavy or Peltex. I cut up all the scraps for backing my rivets and my magnetic snaps. So I am, oh, happy anniversary on the 20th, Annie. So I'm going to take and use my washer again. You can draw the lines. Don't cut your fingers if you're doing it like me. I'm just lazy, so I'm doing it this way. So on the wrong side here, I can take this piece and I can put it over those prongs like so, and then put my washer over that. And I'm just using the end of my table to close up. I like mine to close to the center. I don't know if that's right or wrong. Some like it to be the other side. Magnetic snap to the lining, yes. Because if you think about it, it's going to be, this is the exterior, and it's going to be flipping closed like this. See what I mean? Whereas if you had it on the exterior, it's not going to do that. So yeah, it's the male snap on the lining side. Okay, so go ahead and do the same with the other side here. You can also use the placement marks or the measurements on the flap piece. 3.5 down, 1.5 in. I just like to use the markings. Now what this Deckerville Heavy does, or Peltex or whatever, it just helps stabilize it more, because this is going to be opening and closing a lot, and I would hate for it to break through the fabric. So not to say that it will, but I like to say better safe than sorry. A little extra security is always good. Then once I have those down, I like to just take my mallet. It's going to be loud because I always just give them a little bit of a bang to make sure they're nice and tight. And then I put small pieces of duct tape or Gorilla Tape, depending what you're using, over top of that, just to secure it even more and to prevent it from those prongs rubbing on the wrong side of this one here. Because you would hate for it to get a wear mark and a hole eventually. So I just find that this protects it a little bit. And that is what we've got. So give everybody a couple minutes. Let me know when you're there. I need to give, I think it'll be fine. So this part we're doing here, I think, is the second hardest part of this whole bag. The top zipper is definitely the hardest, but yeah, this zipper can be a little tough, but it's okay. That's why we're getting it out of the way now. Make sure I got this the right way. Yeah. Okay, so give everybody about 4 more minutes. Kim is done. Hallelujah, Barbara says. Are you having fun though, Barbara? Barbara, how long have you been bag making for? Are you a new bag maker or an experienced bag maker? I hear you're a quilter, I believe. You're a brand new bag maker? Awesome. Well, I hope you're enjoying it. As I said, in this group, there are so many different levels of bag makers, so done. Does the devil put up a fight? Devil put up a fight. Oh my goodness. Well, your magnetic snaps put up a fight? Okay, who else are we waiting for? Annie and Karen. Actually, I think, Karen, you're still waiting on your interfacing, so you probably couldn't do this one. Oh, Barbie, you can teach me how to garment sew. I'm no good at it. Elba, how are you making out? Oh, no, you're done. And Kim is done. I'm just making sure. No, Kim's done. Okay, I don't think I'm missing anybody, so if I am, please do holler. Okay, so we're working just with the linings. You can put the front flap exterior to the side for now. You want to pull out your front flap zipper pocket lining. So that's the piece you want the 9-inch wide part to be at the top, and they're very, very close in width. So make sure you have it the right way. You do not want, you want it to be the shorter side going up and down and the longer side going left to right, but there's only a 1/2 inch difference. Bridal was more forgiving than this? Oh my goodness. I don't think so. Okay, so for this one, just along that top, I'm going to fold it in half and find that top center and make a little snip. This is just going to make it a little bit easier as we go. I'm going to do the same on my flat piece here, just to find that top center and make a snip. Okay. So let me just make sure I'm doing this right. Let's find my rights. Okay, so we want to have the wrong side of the front flap pocket piece. Look at me looking, you guys, that waterproof canvas trick was the best ever. Let me grab my 1-inch ruler because it's going to be a lot better. Let me figure out the math here. So 9 take away 7.5, so that's 1.5 inches. Is that right? 8, yeah. So from each side, I'm actually going to use my disappearing ink pen. Actually, I can use this one. Where'd it go? Because we're on the wrong side, it'll be fine. Let me just figure it out. I think it's going to be 3/4 of an inch from each side. Let me just make sure my math is right. I'm not a math person, because we want it to be, this is me just figuring it out before I tell you guys, so just bear with me. 7.5. Okay, so from each short side, measure in 3/4 of an inch like I did and make a mark. Okay, making sure I did this right and it's all the way in. Okay. And in between those marks, you want to measure down 7/8 of an inch and connect those lines. 7/8, 7/8. Does that look right? 7/8. So your rectangle, this from here to here, should be approximately 7.5 inches, which mine is, and 7/8 of an inch from the top to here with 3/4 of an inch on each side. Does that make sense? This is the front flap zipper pocket lining piece. So the one that measures 9 inches wide by 8.5 high. So you're marking this on the wrong side. So everybody let me know when you're there. I don't want to move fast past this this part because it can get confusing. It's not hard at all. It just can get confusing. Okay, I'm just making sure I have my head wrapped around what we're doing. Pin the right side. Okay, yeah. I've got her. Kim is done. We need everybody to be done this part to move on because I don't want to lose anybody here. It's easy, but it can get confusing. This is actually the piece that takes the most time. The rest goes together so fast. Three-quarters of an inch in, but make sure you're working with the 9-inch width, okay? Not the 8.5 should be going up and down, the 9-inch across, 3/4 of an inch in, draw lines, and then 7/8 of an inch down, correct? And then you should have this rectangle. You got it, Barbara. You're all good. Barbara, because you are the new one in the group, this is for future reference while we're waiting for everybody else. For your lining pockets, have you ever done them with an overlay before, like I do them? With the zipper overlay? The only reason I ask is we usually do that for homework, but if you needed a walkthrough, I could definitely walk through it. It won't be today. We're like talking probably like next class or the class after. Okay, perfect. So when it comes to doing those, Barbara, we may not cover it in class because it's something we do the same in every class, but if you wanted some instruction on it or just to watch the tutorial, you can contact me and you and I can do a FaceTime or something and we can go through it. But that's still not this class. Still in the dark, but we'll figure it out. If you go back and watch the itty bitty bowler class, was it in that one? I think it was in that one. I actually did a walkthrough of it. It's really easy. It's the easiest way to do a pocket. So, Annie got it? Okay. Okay, so who are we waiting for? Kim is done. Right? Kim is done. Barbara's done. Annie, does I got it mean it's done? So Elba and Kim. No, Kim's done. Elba, let us know when you're ready to go. Have I missed anybody? Don't get me wrong, this part is not hard. You're gonna need wine after this. Aww. Okay, I'm not sure if we've lost Elba or not. We're going to move on. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to take your flap lining piece right side up so you can see your magnetic snap, okay? You have your top center here. We have this piece where we just drawn that rectangle. Okay, good. Alba, you got it. And this is wrong side up. So we are putting these right sides together. So the right sides together, matching up that center spot. I'm going to put a few clips there to hold that in place. I am also going to use some pins just because I don't want this to shift. we will be cutting away this area soon, so you don't have to worry about if you've used like a vinyl or something as this under part. It will be cut away. We just want to make sure that this does not move. So I'm going to put in a couple pins here. Okay, so we have them right sides together, and we are going to sew all along that rectangle. Okay, so let me flip it over. We'll make sure sound is good. Bear with me. Can you guys hear me okay? Is my sound still working, switching to the machine? Can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay. So you want to put it down to a sewing stitch length, whatever that is. On my machine, that's about a 4 to a 4.5. But do whatever it is for your machine. Okay, and we are going to sew this in. Now, we don't need to sew the top part. We're just going to sew those 3 lines. Back stitch. And when I get down to the corner, I don't know if this really does anything, but like I'm right at that corner where I'm about to pivot. I like to go back 2 stitches and in, and I just think it helps. And that corner, I don't know if it does. It does for me. And same with when I pivot and go the other way, I'll go forward 2 stitches and back 2 stitches and then continue sewing. Just to strengthen that corner, because we are going to be doing this kind of like a zipper pocket. And you will see what I mean once we get there. So when I get across the other side, I'm going to make sure my needle is down right in that corner. And then I'm going to go back 2 stitches, forward 2 stitches just to strengthen that seam, pivot, forward 2 stitches, back 2 stitches, and finish all the way to the top and back stitch. You guys are all probably like, what the heck are we doing? It's going to make sense here momentarily, I promise you. Okay. Okay. So let me know when you're there. You can take out those clips and those pins. And this is what it looks like. I said it doesn't look like we're getting very much done, but we are. This is the part, this piece here, I swear, takes the most time out of everything. So if we get this part aside, I am a happy girl. Okay, while I'm waiting, I'm just going to get my iron warming up because we are going to need our irons. So everyone, let me know when you're ready to go. Oh, that's a good idea too, Barbara. So Barbara's saying to make her corners, she sometimes makes the very small stitches in those corners as well. That would help too. Not everybody has to do that. I find it's in my corners where my stitches tend to pull, so it's just what I do. Okay, so Barbara's done. Good job. Elba's done. Kim is done. I think it's just, I don't think Karen isn't sewing this part because I know that she is waiting for her lining interfacing to come. So, and Annie, was that yes done? Oh, Barbara, I hear ya. I backstitch all the time too. Okay, so now from our stitch line here, right along the top, we want to measure in 1/2 inch, like so, from each of the stitch lines. I think I went too far on that one. We'll see. 1/2 inch. I did. And then from that 1/2 inch line, we're going to draw a diagonal line to that corner stitching. I'll put this up closer so you guys can see it. Just like that. Okay. Easy, right? And now the fun part. What you're going to do, let me make sure I do this right. Yes, I am. We are going to just cut as close as we can to that stitching along that diagonal line without cutting through the stitching. So very similar to how we do a zipper pocket. So you don't want to cut that stitching. Trust me, ask me how I know. I've done it. So that gives you something that looks like this. And then what we want to do is we want to push these wrong sides together, bringing up all of those edges. Wrong sides together, bringing up these edges like so. You may have to take it to the iron to press it in place. I usually would use some double-sided tape to do this as well, but it doesn't stick to waterproof canvas very well. So you're going to bring this side around like this. See? That's where I did that double stitching because it's going to show there. So you're going to bring it around, wrong sides together, kind of pop these sides up and under like so. You can finger press it really good. I'm going to take this to the iron and give it a quick press. So you end up having something that looks like this when you flip it wrong sides together. So I'm going to take this over. I'm going to give this a good press if everybody wants to do the same. And we are so close to being done this pocket. So you might not hear me over here, or you may, but my iron's way over here. So I got to do my thing here. Press out that seam really, really good. Almost done. I'm giving it lots and lots and lots of steam. Oopsies. Okay. It's a pocket on top of a pocket. Yeah, you'll see what we're making. We're making this. See? This is what we're making, and it's going to have a pocket in the flap. So let me know when you're there. Will I refresh myself here? Ah, yes. Barbara's done. Look at you go. Kim is done. Awesome. Great for pens, yeah. You guys, you're impressing me. So much fun. Yours will be good for lip chat because it'll be smaller. It's going to be super cute. So right side of the flap lining is visible. This should be the wrong side here of the flap lining because we're going to end up flipping it up like this. So you want it to be on the inside. So this flap and this should be wrong sides together. Yes, right side of the flap here. You're right, and wrong side of the pocket lining. You got it, Barbara. That's exactly it. They're wrong sides together. Perfection. Okay, we'll give it another minute or so. Annie's done. You did get it, Barbara. I'm so proud of you. Awesome job. And once you get more and more into the bag making, Barbara, you're going to find that everything kind of has the same kind of process. Yay, Elba's got it too. Okay, so now we're going to play with a zipper. So what you're going to want to do, now you can measure out an 8-inch number 5 handbag zipper or whatever. I just use zipper by the yard, and I'm going to cut it about the same length as this, if not a little bit longer, because we can trim it up, okay? So it doesn't have to be exact as long as it's either the same or longer. I'm going a little bit longer. I have to go ahead and put my zipper pull on here, so I'm going to quickly go and do that. Give me 1 second here. Is everybody using zipper by the yard, or are we using some pre-made zippers? Come on. Oh yeah, baby, it went on so good. You better have enough of the zipper tape for this bag. I have to put in another order. Okay. Are we ready? Everybody let me know when you have your zipper ready to go. Awesome, Barbara. You're ahead of me. Zipper by the yard all the way. I love zipper by the yard. And then you can put on all the fancy pulls and... Oh, awesome, Elba. Okay, are we ready? Everybody has their zippers ready to go? Oh, Kim, you're awesome. You know it. Okay, so now what we want to do is we could use double-sided tape here if we wanted to. But don't really need to for this one. So what we're going to do, and this is why I did mine a little longer, see these top parts? You're going to line that up with the top of the zipper tape there, okay? On each side, like so. Maybe I want to use a little zipper. Okay, so you can either do that and hold it in place. I am terrible for holding it in place, so I actually am going to use just a little bit of double-sided tape on this opposite side, just because I don't want mine to go anywhere. So, let me find some that's going to work for me. So again, only use double-sided tape based on what your machine is sensitive to. So on the wrong side of my zipper pot, or it's on the right side, but right along here, I'm just going to use a little bit of zipper tape or double-sided tape along this side here. Just along there, and that's just going to help me hold it there in place. Okay, so again, I'm going to take off the tape here, or not the tape, the paper backing. I'm going to line up. Again, I'm going to trim my zipper by the yard up later, so make sure this is lined up here. This is lined up here. Then I'm going to take my tape and kind of position this where I want it to be. With an even amount of zipper showing there. Now see how my zipper is kind of going whoop? We do not want a crooked zipper. So that's where the tape is nice, because I can pick it up and I can place it down, because you want the zipper to look as straight as it's going to be, because it's going to be very, very visible on your bag. So take your time to make sure your zipper is not wonky and that it's nice and straight and even. How does that look? I think that looks pretty straight. Okay. How's that look? I think that looks pretty straight and even along here. And then what we're going to do is we are going to top stitch this in place down this side. We're going to pivot and go across and back up the other side. Okay, so once you get that zipper in place, go ahead and top stitch that, and I'm going to go and do that right now. So let me switch over. The right microphone on. Okay, closing to, I got to think about it now. Wait, I think I'm doing something wrong. Oh my gosh. Hold on, please hold. I messed up, you guys. No. I think I messed up. 1 second. I completely messed up. You guys are going to kill me. Front flap zipper pocket. So, you guys are going to kill me. This piece here is supposed to be our exterior piece. So I have to redo all of this. I am so sorry. So this piece we should have set aside, and we should have been attaching the exterior piece to this. Do you guys hate me? I don't believe I just did that. I hope everybody has enough of the lining stuff. So we have to unpick this. I have to recut this lining flap piece and redo the snaps. You could probably reuse this, but I was supposed to use this piece to attach to this and do the cutting. No, I was wrong. I should have read it closer. So do not put the zipper tape on yet. We have to redo this. So let's quickly cut out those pieces again. I apologize, you guys. Do you know what? That's the first time I have ever made that mistake. No, it's okay. It's good to put the mistakes in here. So we are going to salvage as much of this as we can. I apologize, you guys. I apologize. So we're going to have to take out our, we have to undo everything we just did. Oh my gosh. Is everybody on board? Do you see what I did wrong? We all do it. I make mistakes all the time. So let's redo these pieces. Recut out these pieces. Yes, it is, but I apologize, you guys. I should have read it closer because I did double check it. So I'm going to grab my stuff. I might not have enough. I don't stress. I just feel so silly. So yes. Now, so that process that we just did for practice, we want to do all over again. But when you attach it to the flap and do the cutting, you want to do it with the vinyl, not with the other. Oh yes, if the zipper was already sewn in, I would definitely be crying. So I apologize to everybody sewing along. You were doing so magnificently, and then I made this mistake. Kim, you did it right. Excellent. Did anybody else not follow along and use the right piece? That's funny. So Barbara, if you're following along with me, I did it wrong. So I'm actually going to cut these two pieces. I might have to use different fabric, but I'm going to salvage my hardware. And we're just going to do, we'll go ahead and we'll do it for the rest of the class. Don't you slow, no. This was supposed to be the exterior. It says flip the front pocket lining so that the exterior flap panel and the zipper pocket lining pieces. I better not, am I doing it wrong? It says the exterior flap, not the lining piece. The lining piece you do later because we want the zipper to be showing right here. Cut another flap lining, and you could probably salvage this piece. You're right, but we will have already cut it. So yeah, flap lining. I apologize. It's more for the zipper has to be showing on this side where it's going to be showing on the wrong side, so our flap doesn't get cut. So today's class is how to fix our mistakes. I'm actually going to cut these two pieces out again. I might have to use something different. Let me see. What do I want to use? So I don't think I have any more of this stuff. Let me check. I do not. I think I may just be able to cut the flap. Let me grab some more. And I apologize, everybody. Oh, I feel just terrible. But it's an easy fix. If we'd gotten further, we would have been really, really upset. So I'm just going to actually use this pattern piece to cut out this one. I'm going to be using vinyl for both my front and my back now because I don't have any more of that I don't have any more whatchamacallit of that waterproof canvas. But I'm now going to make my slip pocket out of cork, and I'm going to use my slip pocket as my lining for this. Actually, I could always change this one out. So what I'm doing now is I'm trading out my lining zipper pocket pieces, and I will make them a different color. So I'll use vinyl for both of those. No, I'm going to go like this. Okay, so we get to do this twice. See, Barbara, I am an experienced bag maker. I've made this pattern 100 times, and I made a mistake. Okay. Okay. So what I want to do, yes it is, okay. All right, so I'll keep it the same lining. That's my, I'm gonna do my flap as well. Okay, let's have a race and see who can do this fastest. So I'll walk through quickly what I'm going to do. Again, where is my flat piece? So I'm going to install my magnetic snaps on my lining piece. No, it's my fault. I read it twice even, and I don't know why. I have never made that mistake before. Barbara, do you have enough? I hope you have enough. So we're just all going to be really good at this part. Again, this was the second hardest part of this bag, but install those magnetic snaps. So am I, Kim. I usually do this with my eyes closed. It's just grabbing that wrong piece. It happens. My goodness, my dogs are just doing their thing. It's okay, Barbara. Go ahead. It's all good. Sorry. I was going to, but I'm scared it'll make it confusing. And I ended up having enough of this, so I'm going to keep it consistent with what I was showing before in case anybody goes back. Oops, I forgot to put my washer in there. Man, oh man, Brandy. I'm just going to have to make my zipper pocket on the inside. I'm going to just make it like a black or something. Nobody will see it. It's probably make you guys all nervous doing that, what I was just doing right there. Prongs do not like to be worked twice. This is actually good that we caught it right here. If we had sewed it all in and our zipper was, and we had it the wrong way around, we would have been really upset. So as you can see, like this is not, again, I've made it quite a few times. I usually don't make that mistake, but you can see it doesn't take that long to set aside. Okay, so I'm taking this lining piece and I'm putting it aside and I have my exterior piece out. That's what we wanted. Yes, Dawn had an upside down zipper panel, but we came to a conclusion on how to fix it, so. Okay, so then I'm already to the measuring section where I'm measuring out that area. But I knew I'd gone wrong as soon as I knew I had gone wrong. This isn't very straight. Straighten this out. Now what's really bad is this is a client order. If I made a mistake with the exterior and I didn't have any more of it, oh, I would be crying. Yes, Kim did do the same mistake. How are you making out, Barbara? I feel so terrible. You're going to be so good at doing this part. So as you can see, the only difference than when we did it wrong is we have our exterior flat piece that doesn't have the magnetic snaps up, right side up, we're taking our zipper pocket lining piece, right sides down, so these are our right sides together, and then we're going to sew across there with all of the back stitching that we love. Okay, so I'm just going to hop over to the machine and do it because you've all seen me do it already, so I'm just going to do it quickly. Just get to the state that we were at, and then we will continue and get this flap done at least tonight. It was looking so beautiful too. And then do my 1/2 inch marks. Elba, did you do it wrong like us too? I'm sorry, guys. Cut into those slits and then press them wrong sides together, and then we're back where we were. So you can see that whole process actually only took 5 minutes to get everything going, so that's good. You did it too, Elba? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Mail snap exactly where we had it before on the lining flap. So just like we did before. The part we did wrong was when we attached the lining flap to the lining pocket panel where we did the cutting, where it should have been the exterior. And that's on me. I apologize. So you do not want to be sewing the one with the magnetic snaps onto this piece. So mail snaps exactly how we had done them before. That part we did correctly. Just breathe. It's okay, Barbara. You're doing amazing. Again, this was my mistake. Okay, and I'm going to just carefully go and give this a little bit of a press. I'll be right back. Okay, I think my husband just blew a fuse upstairs. Okay, how are we making out? I'm actually just going to put a couple clips. We got this. We're still right on par here. You would have made that mistake on your own anyways, Alba. I don't believe I made this mistake. Oh my gosh. Okay. Annie, how are you doing? A good part of the class, I guess, is learning how to fix the mistakes. Let's just blame the pattern. No, this is 100% my fault. I just grabbed the wrong piece. But we're good. Believe it or not, we're almost done this part. We're all good. But was it of another pattern that Diane totally saved the day because she caught it in time? I don't remember what that was, but man, oh man. Looks good, thank you. Did you blow a fuse, Dave? Come on in. My husband's coming in because he blew a fuse. Got yours back in? Okay, cool, Annie. He's letting all the dogs in. Everybody say hi to Dave. The fuse box is in here and I heard it go click because he probably has the air fryer and the microwave going at the same time.
Air fryer and grill.
Air fryer and grill going at the same time. So that's Dave, everybody. Say hi. That's okay. We just sewed something on backwards and it was my fault. So we're redoing our work from pretty much the last half hour.
Awesome.
Yeah, but we're learning how to fix our mistakes, right? Oh, hi, Dexter brought me a bottle. That's nice of him. Everyone says hi, Dave.
Ooh.
Nobody can see you there. Now say hi. Here's Dave. Hello, happy anniversary. Take the dogs with you, please. Hi, Cocoa Beans. Coco, Dexter, out you go.
Come.
Dexter, out you go. Go on, go, Daddy.
Come. Upstairs.
No, this is a one-time buy that Anna had. It's, I don't remember what it was, but it's nice. But this isn't Lux. He can cook for you too. He's just making burgers and stuff. I think he's doing fries in the air fryer. Okay, so we'll hold on just a little bit longer just so we can get this done. Everybody let me know when you get to this point. Yes, it is. This color matches the Luxe Rose Quartz Leopard perfectly, but I don't have any more left, and you can't get it anymore. Does everybody forgive me for the mistake? I feel so terrible. You do burgers big time, Rhonda? We ate such fancy meals while we were away this weekend that Burger sounds good. Kim is done. You're to here. Perfect. How are you making out, Barbara and Elba and Annie? Oh, thanks, Dawn. I do beat myself up. I don't like it when I make mistakes. Aw, thank you. I love you guys all too. But hey, I like to think that when I make mistakes, I can show you how to fix them. It's a learning experience. Aw, thank you guys. Go ahead, Barbara, whereabouts are you? So everybody that's done, go ahead and put the zipper tape on just like we were doing when I had discovered my mistake. Gosh darn it. Make sure your zipper pull is closing to the left. I want to move this over more. See, I think it's good to show that everybody makes mistakes. I mean, even in my tutorials, I try to keep my mistakes in. As you can see, my lining is going to almost have a pop of color through. I'm working on having that because I think that's going to be really pretty. Because nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. And if anybody is looking perfect, it's been edited. Awesome. Okay. So as my zipper looks straight, we're back to where we were. Thank goodness. Okay, male snap on right side of lining, right side of the flap on top of wrong side. Yes, but you don't want to, we're not working with the one that has our male snaps on. We're putting that aside and we're attaching it to our exterior piece. So when you go to attach it, the exterior flap is right side up and your pocket lining piece is right side down, so they're right sides together. And then you're sewing along that line. Exactly like we did with this one, but with the opposite piece. So Barbara, yeah, make sure you're not using the one with the magnetic snaps. We're not using that piece yet. Do exactly like we did before. You got it? Okay. So this is what, you got her? So as we're working with the exterior flap, not the lining flap that has the magnetic snaps. That's where we did it wrong. You're good to go? Okay, so now what we're going to do, once you have your zipper in place where you want it to go, we're going to top stitch down this side, across, and up, just at those seam sides where we had cut out, okay? So let's flip over and do that, and then we're almost back to where we were. Oh my God. And I am so proud of you guys because look how fast you recouped from that. It only took you about 10 minutes to get it all done, which is amazing. So it shows you how fast you can do this bag once you know what you're doing. Okay, so I'm going to start top stitching. Make sure everything is lining where you want it to be and your zipper pull is going to the left. across the bottom. Turn. Okay. So this is what it looks like, and this is where we're going to call it for the rest of the night. This part is almost done, but Dave almost has dinner ready. I promise you the rest of the bag goes together much easier than this. So you guys all see my top stitching there? And this is what it looks like on the back. This is okay. We're going to leave it like this. Barbara, did you learn from my mistake at least? I'm so sorry. You guys did awesome though. Look, every single one of you managed to get back to where we were within 10 minutes. You guys are amazing. That means you cut new pieces, you flipped it around the right way, you did everything that we did for the first half of this, and you fixed it that fast. Like, that's how much you have grown already. And again, I apologize for my mistake, but I'm so glad we caught it before we finished this pocket, because I seriously would have been in a ball crying on the floor. So we're not going to have any homework today. We got lots done. We've got the 2 top panels done with all of our connectors done. We're almost done this pocket. The rest of the front and the back go together so fast. So this is almost done. Great class. I'm glad you identify with mistakes. Barbara, I was most worried about you. Everybody else in here is kind of a veteran of the class, and I know that they understand, but I'm so glad that you understand that I make mistakes just like everybody as well. But I'm so proud of all of you, because you just redid everything so fast. So now everybody can breathe. Put this aside. There's no homework for class this week. We will finish the front and the back panels. Oh, and the foam on the bottom. Do you know what? Don't worry about doing the foam. We're going to be putting foam on all the other pieces, so we can do them all at the same time. So just take a breather. Don't worry about any more. Do not do the rivets yet. No homework. The rivets come after we put foam on all of our main panels. Once we get the front and the back panel done, it goes together really fast. So no homework. Just make sure that the piece we worked on today looks like this, and then you have a separate piece that has your magnetic snaps on it, okay? But do not put your rivets on. That'll come later. Just make sure you have this much done. All right? Any questions? There's a high whistle again? Oh no, let me switch. One sec. How about now? Did that go away? Or is it still there? Because I completely was a whistle in the video. Darn you, YouTube. All right. So thank you guys. Sorry for the mistake. I'm actually kind of glad that it was in there, because, again, you guys just show how much you've grown. Red or white? How about tequila? Weird. So weird. So pat yourselves on the back, those who are sewing along, for getting almost everything we did in class, or from 5 o'clock on. You redid it all within 10 minutes. I'm so very proud of you. So yeah, we'll take a breather. We will finish up this pocket and get the front and back main panels done. And we will have to start straight at 4 o'clock next week. There will be no too much talking at the beginning. We'll start at 4 o'clock sharp, because we're going to have a lot to get through, because we want to have be able to start our linings on the last day of classes, because we'll do the linings and we'll put it all together. So we got to get the rest of the exteriors done next class so we can finish it up on the 4th class. All right, was that a good enough class even with the mistake? I hope so. If there's any questions, you can message me on Facebook. You can shoot a message in the event, tag on your peers or whatever, shoot me an email. I'm here to help you. Okay, thanks everybody. And yeah, it's time to go have like maybe some tequila shots and take a hot bath and just, yeah. Anyways, have a great night everybody. I will see you guys on Thursday for polling, hopefully with less mistakes. All right, good night.